Yes, welcome everyone. We are going to discuss matters to do with nutrition during pregnancy. Nutrition is very important in pregnancy because uh, if a mother is not well nourished, then she's most likely going to get complications, and also the baby or the fetus will not develop quite well. So it is very important that we understand matters related to nutrition and pregnancy. Nutrition as pregnancy as a physiological process is a demanding one nutritionally because there are a lot of processes that are happening, including cell division, organ development, and also there are also changes that happen in the body in regards to electrolytes, proteins, glucose, and vitamins. And so these often drop, okay? These also often drop, but there's also a rise in lipids, triglycerides, and also cholesterol. So it is very, very important to supply the body with sufficient nutrients for fetal growth and also for maternal needs. It's also vital that we understand that the fetus actually derives its nutrients from the mother through the placenta. And during pregnancy, there is need to have more calories, and therefore there is an increase calories, the need for calories of about 15%. This is very important. So proper nutrition is vital in pregnancy because of the development that happens, but also because there is an increased demand for nutrients, especially in preparation for lactation and breastfeeding. The mother needs to actually take nutrient-dense foods such that she can get adequate nutrients. If she does not get adequate nutrients, then it is likely that she will have complications or health problems, but also the mother, the child that they will deliver will be of low birth weight and also will exhibit signs of nutritional deficiencies. So what are the things that we need to be aware of in regards to nutrition in pregnancy? One, we said that the pregnant woman needs to have more calories and therefore should eat foods that contain more nutrients. And then we should also understand that the requirements for some of the nutrients actually need to be doubled during pregnancy. But it's also very important that we adjust the diet according to support optimal fetal growth and meet maternal health needs. Because adequate nutrition is associated with proper or successful breastfeeding. So we need to understand the developmental stages of the fetus and the associated nutritional needs. During the first 2 weeks after fertilization, implantation has to take place. Or during the first 2 weeks, implantation has to take place. So implantation is when the fertilized ovum actually attaches to the uterine wall. And And basically, this is the embryo stage. And the embryo will need need nourishment. And the nourishment comes from the uterine milk. Okay? So it is very important that even at this stage, the mother has adequate nutrients. And then the next stage is what you call organogenesis. This is when now organs start to form. And if there are nutritional deficiencies at this stage, deficiencies in vitamins, deficiencies in minerals, then you will have what you call congenital abnormalities. The organs will not form quite well. And then we move to the next or the remaining 7 months. This is definitely characterized by cell growth. The fetus increases in size, and still the nutrients are needed, and usually are derived from the well-developed placenta. And if there is a problem perhaps because of the placenta or because of nutritional deficiencies, then the baby may be delivered prematurely, or the baby may be actually smaller in size or less, will have low birth weight. So without optimal nutrition, the following will happen. There will be the nutrient deficiencies. And this can be because of iron. If there's a deficiency of iron, then anemia will happen, and fatigue. If there's a deficiency of vitamin D, then bone health will be affected. And then if there's a deficiency of iodine, then there will be problems with secretion of hormones from the thyroid, and this will have an impact on the brain development. And then deficiency of folate is associated with increase in the risk for neurotube defects in the newborn. Deficiency in proteins is associated with hindering fetal growth and development. So it is very vital that a healthy woman gains sufficient weight. Weight is a good indicator of maternal health outcomes. If the woman does not gain sufficient weight, it is likely that the baby will be of low birth weight. But also, if the mother gains excessive weight, then it is likely that they will have a baby of high birth weight, and also issues of gestational diabetes may actually arise. The weight that is gained during pregnancy should be between 12 to 15 kilograms. How this weight is gained is also very important. The pattern of gaining this weight is very, very key. Much of the weight is contributed by, of course, the growth of the fetus, but other areas such as the blood, extracellular fluid, the stored energy, breast and uterus also contribute to weight gain. If the woman is undernourished, then it is likely that she will have a baby who is of low birth weight. The low birth weight baby is one who has less than 2.8 5 kilograms of body weight. And this often is as a result of intrauterine growth retardation. This is caused by, of course, undernutrition, infections, or even malaria. If the child is born with a low birth weight, they will have a lot of problems. Will have complications such as increased susceptibility to infections, immature organs, and then they will have issues with growth and development. The risk factors for having a low birth weight baby include women of low socioeconomic class, women who are malnourished, or mothers who are malnourished, and then hypertension and those with infections, especially viral infections, but also those who take alcohol, drugs, or even those who smoke are likely to have low birth weight babies. During pregnancy, women experience nausea and vomiting. And also the other associated problem is with regulation of blood glucose. Okay, so here we are discussing 2 points. Glucose levels in a diabetic mother should be regulated. A diabetic mother should not take excessive sugars because this will result into gestational diabetes, hypertension, premature delivery, and having a baby who is big, the one we call a large gestational age fetus. Nausea and vomiting are also very common, but this can actually be minimized by making sure that one can eat before they get out of bed. They also avoid skipping meals and also eat small, frequent meals. Okay, there are some foods that one can actually avoid, especially those that have strong smells. Constipation and heartburn are also very common. Constipation is basically caused when there is pressure because of the growing fetus on the bowel. And also during pregnancy, there are hormonal changes. This also contributes to reducing the motility of the bowel, especially progesterone, and then also lack of enough physical activity. These are factors that contribute to constipation. To prevent constipation, one can take enough foods and enough of foods that contain fiber, and also take adequate fluids. For heartburn, it's also advisable to take smaller and frequent meals, and also avoid lying down as soon as eating. One can also wear clothes that are not tightly fitting, but also it is very important to chew the food slowly and very well before they can swallow. One can take fluids during meals, and there are certain foods that should be avoided, especially those that are fatty and spicy, to avoid heartburn. Pica is a problem that is associated with the deficiency of specific nutrients. This is when women crave for non-food items. It is usually an indication that they have deficiency of certain nutrients. These non-food materials can actually be dangerous to the mother and the baby. Now let's turn our attention to a situation where the mother is not having adequate nutrition. And this is what you call maternal malnutrition. Maternal malnutrition has health effects on the mother and also the fetus. Maternal malnutrition happens because of several reasons. One could be that the mother is not taking adequate calories, and also that they are not taking foods, a variety of foods. Okay, so they have poor dietary diversity. Sometimes there is limited access or even availability of nutritious foods. And this happens in situations of food insecurity. Sometimes the women may not be having an adequate knowledge on how they should actually eat during pregnancy. The problem of malnutrition affects countries, whether they are developing or they are developed countries. The challenge is that in developing countries, the burden is actually huge, perhaps because of limited access to healthcare, poverty, and food insecurity. And then in developed countries, the problem of maternal malnutrition is associated with eating unhealthy foods. And therefore, it is very important that the problems of malnutrition actually need to be addressed globally. Malnutrition causes a number of effects, including anemia, weak immunity, and reduced ability to recover from infections or illnesses. Poor maternal weight gain, and also increased risk for complications during childbirth. The maternal malnutrition has also effects on the fetal development. It results in too low birth weight babies. Also causes congenital abnormalities, it impairs brain development, and also impairs the immunity. And therefore, there is increased susceptibility to infections. In a long run, it is likely that the mother will develop chronic conditions such as cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and others. And also this will have implications on their sexual health, sexual and reproductive health, especially in the subsequent pregnancies. The long-term consequences of maternal malnutrition on the child include delays in development, and also it impairs their cognitive development. And consequently, this impairs their academic performance and also chances of succeeding later on in life. Generally, it results into reduced work capacity and productivity. So the problem of maternal malnutrition needs to be addressed, especially starting from antenatal care. During antenatal, the woman is actually counseled on nutrition. Nutrition matters, and also is educated. They are advised on having diversified diet, diversified and balanced diets, and how they can actually access nutritious foods such as fruits and vegetables and proteins. So antenatal care is very, very, very key, because it can be at the antenatal care visit that they can be screened for nutritional deficiencies, and also on issues to do with weight gate monitoring. Any complications can be detected and managed during antenatal. It's very important that communities are actually engaged in fighting maternal malnutrition through creating awareness and educating them on nutrition and also healthy cooking practices. It may also require that you implement programs that can fortify some of their foods. They can be educated and on family, on breastfeeding and also nutrition during lactation. Success in lactation is very important in reducing child malnutrition. A malnourished mother will have difficulties practicing breastfeeding. So it is very important that malnutrition is addressed in order to avoid poor breastfeeding practices or even reduced breast milk. Some of the issues that cause maternal malnutrition are because of low socioeconomic class. So when addressing issues to do with malnutrition, it could be very important to look at these social, political, and social and political factors and economic factors that result into poor or that result to maternal malnutrition. So it is very important to address these factors. We move to the fact that to improve maternal malnutrition, it requires the collaboration of different entities, including the government, health organizations, NGOs, and communities. They need to work together in order to implement policies that can address the problem of malnutrition. So the other angle to look at it is to make sure that the status of women is improved. This can be done through empowerment programs and also advocacy programs. Okay, the status of women is associated with their ability to fend for themselves, such that they can be empowered to make informed decisions about their health and also be able to address the underlying causes of malnutrition. So this can require things like lobbying, advocacy, empowerment, strengthening the health systems, and also making sure that nutrition programs are integrated into the existing healthcare services. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, you're welcome.